Lesson 5. Accounting, the income statement. Please read and pay attention to the disclaimer on this slide. Examine the image presented on this slide closely. Can you spot the warning signs? It looks like the boat has developed a leak, a clear indication of trouble. More alarmingly, sharks are beginning to circle, an even graver concern. These are unmistakable warning signs. Similarly, in the financial world, early indicators of trouble can often be identified through a company's income statement. To effectively spot these warnings, it's essential not only to analyze key financial ratios, but also to review their trends over several years. This is the only way to effectively detect negative patterns. You should read an income statement like you're a spy trying to break a secret code. Examine the hypothetical income statements on the slide. 3 years of consecutive statements are presented. What's the problem? Where's the red flag? Clearly, something's wrong. Operating income declined from $1 million in 2021 to $720,000 in 2023, even though revenue increased from $10 million to $14.4 million over that period. As I told you, trying to identify the problem is difficult without the financial ratios analysis. Let me make it easy for you. The financial ratios are now listed on the slide. In 2023, the operating margin declined from 10% to 5%. Look at the red circles at the bottom. Remember, the operating margin is calculated by dividing operating income by revenue. The cause of the decline in operating margin was gross profit. On the surface, gross profit doesn't look like a problem because it increased from $5 million to $6.48 million. However, when you look at gross margin, which is gross profit divided by revenue, it declined from 50% to 45%. That's highlighted in the top red circle. Notice that other ratios didn't change, only the gross margin. That's the problem. In 2023, the amount of money the company made selling its product before other operating expenses declined. A declining gross margin is a troubling sign because unlike many of the other expenses in the income statement, companies typically have much less control over their gross margins. This could mean something bad is happening to their business, which they're less able to fix. Some of the typical reasons for a declining margin include rising costs of goods and services sold, increased competition, a shift in mix of business to lower margin products and services, or operational inefficiencies. Any of these reasons can be a sign of bad times ahead. In this example, revenue again grew strongly, increasing from $10 million in 2021 to $14.4 million in 2023. Operating income grew even faster, increasing from $1 million to $1.728 million. On the surface, things look great. However, there's a red flag. It's hard to see it without the financial ratios, isn't it? When I show you the ratios, you can see that operating margins increased from 10% to 12%. That seems great, but it's entirely due to the company's spending on research and development as a percent of revenue decreasing. It fell from 10% of revenue to 8%. The drop is highlighted in the red circle. None of the other ratios changed. Research and development is an expense that companies have quite a bit of control over. By cutting it, they can boost short-term profits, but in doing so, they might strangle future growth. It's a worrisome sign and should be investigated further. Consider if Steve Jobs, the iconic founder of Apple Computer, had declared the iPhone 1 to be the ultimate version at its 2007 launch, asserting there was no need for further models and thereby halting all research and development spending. Had this been the case, Apple likely wouldn't be a leader in the rapidly expanding mobile computing industry today. Instead, it might have found itself relegated to marketing products like lawnmowers in a mature and sluggish sector. This scenario highlights the critical role of continuous innovation in maintaining industry leadership. In the fable, The Tortoise and the Hare, the tortoise surprisingly wins the race. On Wall Street, trust me, the hare wins. Often, the stocks of companies growing the fastest over the longest periods are among the best performing stocks in the market. To get a better sense of what a great company and a bad one look like, we're going to do a blind comparison. On this slide, there is a 3-year comparison of Company A and Company B. Take some time and examine the data. Compare the financial performance of the two companies, including the annual revenue and operating income growth over the period. Also, examine the operating margin, which again is calculated by dividing the operating income by revenue. What differences do you notice between the two? Take some time and review the data. The company on the left is Microsoft, one of the leading global software companies. Software is an attractive growth industry. The one on the right is General Motors, a global auto manufacturer. Today, General Motors operates in a mature industry with little growth. Furthermore, its core business is currently being disrupted by the electric vehicle market. From 2017 to 2019, Microsoft grew its revenue by 30%, while over the same period, General Motors saw its revenue decline by 6%. During the same period, Microsoft's operating margin increased from 30% to 34%, while General Motors' operating margin shrank from 6% to 4%. Microsoft generated an operating margin that was 5 to 11 times greater than General Motors, which means that Microsoft earned 5 to 11 times more on every dollar of revenue than General Motors. This comparison should give you a sense of what two very different companies' income statements look like. Having examined the income statement in detail, let's turn our attention to a lesser-known giant, Constellation Software. Unlike instantly recognizable names such as Apple and Nike, with their well-understood business models, many companies you encounter in the stock market, like Constellation Software, might be unfamiliar to you. This unfamiliarity poses a common challenge for investors. This is where the income statement proves invaluable, offering essential insights into a business's operations and aiding investors in making well-informed decisions. I said in part 1 of this lesson, had you looked at Constellation Software's income statement in 2015, you would have seen evidence of their successful growth by acquisition strategy. Let me now show you how. As we mentioned, a central part of their strategy was cost cutting. Think of Constellation like an ever-growing space station that cannibalizes other stations for their best parts. We're going to discuss cost cutting in more detail. Look at the exhibit on the slide. The colored column represents a simplified income statement for a hypothetical acquirer company. The blue box represents company annual revenue, while the red box represents annual company expenses. The green box is the annual net income, which is calculated by subtracting the expenses from the revenue. In this case, they have $1 million in annual revenue and $700,000 in expenses, so their net income is $300,000. The target company has $500,000 in annual revenue and $400,000 in total expenses, which means it generates $100,000 in net income, which, remember, means profits after all expenses. For the sake of simplicity, let's assume that when the acquiring company buys the target company, they retain all the target company's revenue. The acquisition doesn't cause any loss of business. When the acquiring company buys the target company, its annual revenue increases from $1 million to $1.5 million. When it comes to the expenses, the outcome is different. We can't just simply add the two companies' expenses together to get to expenses for the combined company, like we did with revenue. The acquiring company will cut costs aggressively at the target company to eliminate duplicative expenses. For example, there won't be need for 2 finance or human resources departments. In our example, let's assume the acquiring company cuts expenses at the target company from $400,000 to $100,000. Therefore, the combined company will see expenses only increase by $100,000. Add that to the $700,000 in current expenses, and the new expense level will be $800,000. As a result of the acquisition, the acquiring company will see revenue increase by 50% to $1.5 million, but expenses will only increase by 14% to $800,000. Annual net income for the combined company will be $700,000, or $1.5 million minus $800,000. That's an increase in net income of 133%. Notice that while revenue increased by 50% because of the acquisition, net income increased by much more than revenue. That's the magic of cost cutting. And we should see this dynamic play out in Constellation's income statement. If we look at Constellation's 2015 annual report, we will see that they provide 3 years of historical income statements, showing their operating results from 2013 to 2015. Over that period, the company grew sales by 52%, largely through acquisitions. Net income grew by an even larger amount, 79%, over that same period. That's exactly what you would expect to see from a successfully implemented cost-cutting strategy. As explained in the prior slide, net income should increase by more than revenue. And that's what happened. Here's proof that the company was doing something really right.